if I talk long enough, people will listen because that's just kind of how the algorithm is. I try not to care too much about the algorithm because ultimately, like, I don't want our ability to connect with like-minded people to be dependent on like just like an algorithm that like people kind of hate. Like, people hate companies and stuff. I'd rather it be dependent on like intentionality and like searching for things, which is why I kind of focus a lot on like keywords and stuff, or tags and stuff to include in my videos. But if I talk long enough, people will listen. If I talk long enough, if I keep making these videos over and over and over and over again, like a million times over, more people will listen. People already are listening. Like, there's a few people who genuinely are like watching my content. Uh, I don't know actually if I have any reoccurring viewers. I don't know, right? I don't know, and I shouldn't get obsessed with the statistics and the analytics or anything like that. But like, yeah, I mean, I already have some engagement. It's not a lot. It's not as much as I want there to be either, right? Because I am looking for like-minded people. Like, I have purposes with this content that I'm making online. It's not just for it's not for money. It is absolutely not for money. I'm not going to like monetize my channels and my profiles or anything. It is genuinely to connect with like-minded people and like ignite a fire of sorts, like some kind of revolution. Like, I want to start a peaceful revolution. So there's kind of some main things that I want people to know. This is like what I try to get across with my channel. So we should think about stuff. Like, we should think about stuff. To think is to be awake, and to be awake is to be alive. And I don't know. You know what I mean. Like, we should think about stuff and kind of suffer a little bit to understand the problems in the world. That's how it is from my perspective. Is like and it's so sad, right? It's so fucking annoying. It is so fucking annoying that we have to like kind of like lose little bits of ourselves and just like suffer and just like hate life in order to get anything done, or in order to like care about the world. Like, for example, I have a project where I write about child exploitation prevention. And it's just so fucking sad sometimes. Just from my perspective, that's how it feels. It's like we need to just suffer a little bit. Like, we need to like take on a little bit of a burden. And there's people who actually have that conviction already. There's people who believe that that's the right thing for their life. That's who I'm trying to reach with this video, with this content. Is those people who like kind of do want to make the sacrifice, or like take on the weight of the world with me, of course. Like, let's do it together. Let's do it collaboratively. Like, I genuinely want to connect with people with my channel. Like, it's not just to make videos necessarily, although I do love the idea of sort of just being like this masked person. Just like a masked person who like encourages you randomly one day through like a video that pops up on your feed, and then like I just disappear forever, but like you remember me. It's, I don't know, there's lots of different vibes across different content creators online. We all have like those favorite content creators that we really like. But I moreover than that, I want to connect, and I want to like build something like with people. Like I'm kind of ambitious, and I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of stuff that I would like to do. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, I'm committed to this. Like, I am committed to this. This is the revolution. This is my life purpose. Like, I have a strong sense of purpose, right? The other thing that I want people to know, right? Like, with my channel, like the purpose of my channel is like, we should actually live by values. Like we should live by values and virtues. Like consistently. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like we all have the values and virtues, but we just don't quite act on them, which is, it's kind of confusing if you think about it. I think we should pay attention to any conviction. This is what I call like a personal conviction. It's just like that little voice that's just like, hey, we should look into this more. Like like we should look into this system that we're supporting a little bit more. And like, if there's any little motivation of selfishness in you, then your conviction would pop up and it'd be like, hey, we need to investigate this just a little bit further. Like, are we acting in the interest of like our community, or like is this just the depression and like the loneliness and the addiction talking? I feel like we're all kind of I guess that's a different subject, but I feel like we're all kind of addicted to multiple things. Like I feel like we're all addicted to at least a few things, like, you know, addicted to phones, cigarettes, weed. What else? Like energy drinks, like coffee, or I don't know. I don't know about coffee. I mean, yeah, and like we have these dependencies and it's just fucking, it's I mean, we should cut out things. We should cut from our life things that uphold corrupt systems. So that could be anything. That could be anything from paying taxes all the way to like not supporting factory farming anymore, all the way to just like not buying sugar because it's tied to like a multi-continent supply chain, or you know, there's like deforestation or like child labor. Like it's just anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like anything, period, right? And specifically, right, things that your conviction, like the little personal conviction voice, tells you about, that like you hear about through um someone who's like an expert in the field or whatever, like, but then your first inclination is to like, you know, you don't want to give up your comforts. Like, think about the world that we live in. Do you really want to give up something that's comforting? No, you're gonna fight to keep it, but your conviction is like, hey, like something needs to change. But then like, of course, it's the voice that we like shove down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the voice that we just try to bury. So I guess moving on from that, but like still related, is this is what I really fucking want to get across to people so badly. And by the way, I will do this until I am blue in the face and until my voice crumbles down and I just fucking die. Like, I'm gonna do this till I die, by the way. And like, I can feel myself dying just from the work itself, but that's a conversation for another time, right? So that's a conversation for another time. That is a conversation for another time. Oh man. I want to see if we can protect the most vulnerable people among us. That's why I started writing about child exploitation prevention. That's why I'm working on a few teamwork projects with people online and hopefully people in real life, depending on circumstances and variables. That's what I want to get across to people, is like, what if we cared deeply and like turned our gaze toward instead of away? Like, what if we turned our gaze as a society toward protecting like children and like protecting like the most isolated and like destroyed and like hurt among us? Like, it makes sense. It makes sense when I say it like that, but then it's not really prioritized. It's not really prioritized. How can me and you have comfort? how can me and you just like simply have luxuries when there's someone else in the world, like not even 1,000 miles from you, who's just like young and vulnerable and like dying. And like I've written so much about this, and like I have an entire website dedicated to talking about this called endce.org, endchildexploitation.org. Like do you understand? Like do you understand what I'm talking about? Like I really really want to talk about this with you. Like I really want to talk about this with you. I want to do something amazing. Like I want to start the fire of revolution against abuse, against all the bullshit that we see in society, just like everything. Like that's what I truly want to do, and then I want to like die after that, like in a lot of ways. I mean, that's kind of how it feels, right? It just feels like you just want to fucking get it over with. Like there's just too much bad in the world, and it really affects me. And this is a lot. This is like this video is hard to make because it's like I'm sharing like the truest shit that I care about with just like anybody, like nobody in particular. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like somebody I know in real life could watch this video, and like it could be somebody who's just like never really heard me talk out loud about the things that I really really care about, and that's just gonna be like I'm smiling underneath the bandana right now. Like it's just gonna be weird. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be very weird and very interesting, and I want to have a conversation about this. How cool would it be if just like my channel just got really really popular, and then I could feel more empowered to just like talk about these things that I really care about. And by the way, with these things that I care about, you know, everybody should care about them. I don't try to be unique or anything. I don't. In fact, I've been called unique or like, you know, different before, and I just consider it kind of an insult because like everybody cares about preventing child exploitation, like everybody. And everybody cares about like animals and stuff. And so it's just a matter of like that little personal conviction voice. Like are we going to listen to it? Or are we just kind of like practice our skill of justifying things that our moral compass or our conviction, or if you're a Christian, the Holy Spirit, right? Like are we just going to like ignore it? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to ignore it. So something weird is going on here, and like and then you know, if we go too far into that line of things, that's when the discouragement starts. And then like people like me, like, you know, brave revolutionaries who like really 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 want to change the world, like we begin to get discouraged and deeply frustrated, and then like it'll just all kind of accumulate for a while, and then like, you know, I'll just end up like crying and like and screaming, like literally, like I don't know, like the evil in the world really affects me. Wow, this is interesting. This is an interesting video, isn't it? This is different. If you're just watching this for the first time, this is different than what you would see on, I don't know, just wherever you're watching this, like YouTube, or just like, it's just different, isn't it? It's like a different. There's two more things I want to talk about really quick. Actually, it might not be really quick. I don't know. Depends on how much I want to talk, but like I want us to live free and happy lives, but like through a sense of purpose. You know what I mean? Like yes, I want us to live good and free and happy lives, and like I really really want to see people being prosperous again, cuz everyone I see right now is just like they just numb themselves with like substances and stuff, and it's just like, no, obviously we should have just like a fully happy life where like we get our fulfillment from simple pleasures, and like we have a village with our friends, and like we have a cabin in the woods, and like a lover and everything, like the dream for everybody, right? But like I don't know, maybe we could do that, but through sort of a sense of purpose in a way. Like there's people in this world who can get away with not really needing to feel a sense of purpose. I think people can do that. I mean, I know a couple, but I can't. Like, what the fuck? Like, you expect me to just like live without a purpose? Like, no. Like, I know what my purpose is, and it has been revealed to me through like just like witnessing problems, writing about solutions. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's revealed to me. It's just like it's my life purpose. It's very clear. And like, what if everybody had this? And I guess what I want to say is like, yes, like this is crucial to the things that I talk about, and if you were to watch more of my content, you would see this. But it's also the concept of somebody not having a purpose doesn't exactly make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And obviously, I'm saying this because I've seen so many young people who are like, they don't really have a sense of purpose. But to me, it doesn't make sense. Because so many of us are like brilliant, or have the capability to be brilliant, and then just like there's so many problems to solve. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that you watching this don't have a purpose. Like, it doesn't fucking make sense. Because of course you have a purpose. Everybody has a role to play. And even when we think about child exploitation, like it's widely understood that the entirety of society, like all playing their part and like playing their role, will be what ends child exploitation. And so that includes you. And it's just like, but even outside of that, like, and oh my god, it is exhausting to talk about. Like it's been on my mind 24/7 recently. It's just like what we can do to combat the worst problems in the world. Like of course you have a purpose. Like I just think that maybe the way that we try to find purpose nowadays is a little bit twisted. Like maybe it's not really, maybe our purpose isn't going to come from self-serving type things. I mean, it might, depending on who you are. Like maybe it would feel better to just embark on a journey of, just acting on your convictions, especially when it leads you into some questionable scenarios where you're just like, where you like take a risk. And it's just, now we're getting into like cliche advice. Like, I don't even want to give advice in the first place. Like, who am I to suggest what you should do with your life? Like, sometimes my conversation gravitates towards that a little bit, but that feels stupid as well. Just like the idea of me giving you advice, like that's kind of weird. Oh. But yeah, maybe we don't feel a good sense of purpose because the problems are so big, like corruption in the government, and and climate change and literally anything. Name anything. I don't care what it is. That. Whatever you're thinking of, that. That and the scale of it is why people are depressed and why our priorities as a society are a little bit backwards. And, you know, it's why we have a lot of loneliness going on, and it's why we have people who just uphold systems that they hate every single day. They just keep it going because, like, they're trapped in it. This is unacceptable to me, by the way. Like, this is unacceptable to me because, and I guess this is our final point here in this video, but, like, everything we do matters. Like, especially the really, 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 really small actions that we have been told by ourselves and others are useless. They're actually not useless. Like, make your voice heard. Like, make your voice heard. The biggest lie that we have ever been told is that it's this. Your actions don't really, like, they don't really, they're not gonna, like, save the world. Like, your actions aren't gonna save the world. They're not really gonna do much. Like, they're not really gonna do anything. It's just like, you know, you can try. You can try if you really want to. You can try to, like, you know, revolt against a corrupt government by not supporting it financially. Or, like, you can I mean, sure, you can, like, change up your diet to be, like, more vegan, so you're not supporting, like, factory farming and cruelty like that. Like, sure, but you're not gonna, like, destroy the systems or anything. And like what you really got to do is just focus on yourself. Because if you focus on yourself, like, you can't help the world unless you focus on yourself. And then once you focus on yourself, you can just kind of, like, you know, you can start making money, you can work a job, and if you save up enough money, maybe in 35 years down the line, you'd be able to, like, I don't know, like, after you've, like, gone to college and everything, then maybe you could make a difference. But even then, you're still not going to save the world. Okay, I'm done with the performance now. That is the biggest lie that we have ever been told, is what I just said to you. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because imagine if every single human being just, like, did small actions. Like, every corrupt system would just be gone instantly, like, if that happened. And, like, I know this in my head, and so then I'm able to do the small actions. Like, I'm actually able to practice what I preach in day-to-day life because of that. Like, because I know that. Because, again, you know, like, and I guess I'm giving advice here. I'm giving, like, advice to somebody, like, through like, you know, the video. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but, like, your actions matter, and that's what I'm trying to get across with these videos. That your actions matter. And by the way, I do have to repeat it 100,000 times. Because if I only just said it once, then, like, nobody would ever see it, and nobody would ever care. So I think it's only right that I should repeat these things hundreds of thousands of times. Because they're very important. They're very important. Me giving advice to you. It's all very weird. It's all very weird. You know, you know, I don't really have confidence in these videos a lot of the time. You know, a lot of the time it just feels dumb because it's just like, I'm not supposed to have moments of silence in the video, by the way. I'm already shooting myself in the foot by having like a long, unedited rant style video that nobody's going to be able to sit through, which would then, you know, hurt my engagement. If I talk long enough, if I say these things over and over again long enough, then people will listen. What's the quote? And it's like, there's like this quote. It's like, to be heard is good. To be understood is good. But to be both heard and understood is like being loved by God. Something like that, right? It would be very, very rare for somebody to hear me and then understand me. It's still valuable for people to hear me. I still appreciate it, and I still read all the comments, and I still want people to engage with me. You can email me, you can comment, you can check my channel links. I want to be understood, and I want to find like-minded people. And it's okay that my last video only got like 2 views. I don't know if anybody actually watched the video, but it got 2 views and it was an hour and a half. So it's just like, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine, because it's an act of protest to make these videos. It's an act of protest to do everything I do. It's an act of protest to put a seed in the ground and then like water it and care for it until it produces some food for you. Because then like you're just one little piece of food closer towards having a self-reliant local community that can then separate itself from the government if you understand the government to be corrupt, which most of us do. So, you know, it's just stuff like that. It's just an act of like revolution. And of course, it's going to take a long time. You know, the revolution is comprised of like tons and tons and tons of small actions over a very long period of time. It's not necessarily like a giant one grandiose action, one like grand performance or something radical like that. It's more so just like slowly building up infrastructure. Like that's how I think of it. It's just like slowly building infrastructure. And I can get into the details of everything. And I do in other videos. But everything I just shared with you over the past like 28 minutes was, that's what I want people to know broadly about my channel, about my content, about my presence online. Because this is the authentic me. And not everyone really sees that, because when I talk to people, I try to listen. I try to listen and not actually talk. Why would I talk? Like, I want to be a good listener. I want to hear what other people have to say. So I usually just end up listening most of the time. But of course, I have things to say. And by the way, when I do actually have the opportunity to talk in person, when it is finally my turn, I kind of stumble over my words, which is very frustrating. Maybe I get stressed. Maybe there's some kind of reason before it, or behind it. Yeah, there's got to be. If I talk long enough, I'll get better at talking. That's a really good bonus too. And if I talk long enough, people will listen. And I will accomplish my goals, which I have stated. Finding like-minded people. Being known and heard by them. I also wouldn't mind if I reached sort of a larger audience, even if I didn't necessarily find exactly aligned like-minded people. Because then with a larger audience, we can talk about, I don't know, maybe more universal and like commonly understood subjects like abuse prevention and like maybe that kind of side of things that I care about talking about. Or if I reach a more aligned sort of audience, which I really do try to, we can also talk about everything. We can talk about everything that makes me me. And I don't know, it kind of sounds selfish in a way to just like want to talk about me. But like, it's not. It's okay. It's okay to talk about me. And, I like to justify my existence. Like, I'm the type of person who wants to justify my existence. Like, it makes me feel better about living if there's like a reason for me living. So people should listen to me because like I genuinely do give a fuck about ending exploitation. Like, it's the main thing that I care about in life. Like, I want to start a revolution against everything that we hate. And I want to move into a world with everything else. My last video was called My Ideal Utopia. Like this is my life purpose, right? Like, so hopefully, and I don't want to be self-certain and sanctimonious and self-righteous, but hopefully my life serves a good purpose and therefore it's worth it to listen to me. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. If somebody watched this video, that would be awesome. That would actually be awesome. I'm not even expecting anyone to watch this video. We're going to wrap it up, though. That's the end of the video. Yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. Like, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? What do you want to say? I try to read all the comments. I read when people reach out to me. That's great. This video is an accomplishment for sure. Yeah, this is great. You can click off of this, by the way. Like, there's no need to keep watching. You can just ruin the engagement metric, the viewer retention metric of the analytics by just clicking off right now. Go ahead, ruin it. Ruin it for me. Make my content undiscoverable. Why don't you? No, I'm just kidding. This is insane. The internet is like, it's such a good tool for like finding like-minded people. We just have to make good use of it. But yeah, I have tons of other works. Like, I don't know. It's getting to the point where like everything about me is just in written or video form, and it's just available for everybody, which is kind of vulnerable. It's kind of weird, but nonetheless, that's part of like what my conviction, like the little voice, like that's what it, asked me to do, is like be radically transparent. That's like been a strong conviction that like I ignored for a while, of course, for a couple of years, but then a few years, then acted on it eventually. So that's good. But yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, I said everything I needed to say. There is no need for one singular word more.